You probably already knew that in order to get a blurry background, aka bokeh, or that cinematic look, in your video, you need to widen your aperture. But have you ever tried doing this when outside? Almost immediately, all of your highlights clip, and your footage becomes a mess of unusable, crappy-looking digital video. Naturally, if this happened to you, you probably Googled how to fix it, and were told to simply raise your aperture, and then you would have a good-looking image again. Well, when you raise the aperture, everything in the frame becomes in focus, and your beautiful depth of field is gone, and you lose that coveted cinematic look. If you searched up how to maintain that shallow depth of field outside, you were likely brought to some article explaining that in order to do this, you need to purchase something called an ND filter. An ND filter is like a sunglass for your lens, which allows you to film bright situations with a shallow depth of field. What they probably didn't tell you is that you don't actually need an ND filter for most kinds of bright shots. Aside from action scenes or other scenes that involve a great deal of movement, most scenes will look completely normal with a high shutter speed. You may have been told that your shutter speed always has to be roughly double your frame rate, but in reality, this isn't always necessary. What this means is that you can keep that blurry background in your video shot outside without going out and buying an ND filter. All of the clips in this video you're watching right now were shot with my 6-year-old Canon T2i and a $125 Canon Nifty 50 lens. For stabilization, I used a $30 Amazon Basics tripod. My point being, you can take amazing quality video with a very small amount of money nowadays. If you want that traditional filmic look, just go into your camera settings and turn down saturation, contrast, and sharpness. And if your camera allows it, try shooting in log. You'll have much more room for color grading with a lowered saturation and contrast. And one of the staples of cinematic video is an image that is not sharpened digitally and looks natural because of this. You can do basic color correction very easily in programs like Adobe Premiere Pro, Sony Vegas, or Final Cut Pro 10. At the end of the day, you can determine for yourself which types of shots look good and which don't, and you can develop your own unique style and look. But in the meantime, this tutorial should help you get started. For all kinds of filmmaking tutorials, tech reviews, and all things media production, stay tuned to Erickson Films.